Hello everyone, this is it, week 8, the final week of our Intro to the New Testament class. I've been so glad to spend this time with you to get to know you a little bit through your work and through our interactions. It's kind of hard to believe that it's come to an end, although I'm sure that for some of you that is a cause for celebration. It certainly is for persevering and doing all the work that you have done. So kudos to you for that. I just wanted to call your attention by way of this final announcement to a few things. First, please be very aware that this class ends on Saturday this week. Saturday, April 29th at 11:59 p.m., the class ends. That means that all of your work, your discussion posts for this week, your final paper, and any late work that you have not submitted for the prior week, any extra credit, everything must be turned in by this Saturday, April 29th at 11:59 p.m. Central Daylight Time. No late work can be accepted unless there is some very extenuating circumstance that occurs this week and you let me know right away and we work out some arrangement. But generally speaking, no work can be submitted after the class ends. I also wanted to ask you to please, if you have not done so, or if you were not planning to do so, please submit that course evaluation survey. I promise you those are held in confidence. I don't get to see who the responses were from. I only get to see the data in aggregate, and I only get to see that well after the course has ended and grading has been done. It's confidential. I'm not going to know who said what. I will get to see specific comments, but I won't know who those were from. We really do use that. I can tell you our instructional design team, our academic affairs folks, they use those results. I have been in meetings at Ottawa University where the results were discussed and changes were made to course content, to our instructional design practices, to our instructional training practices, all based on the feedback that we receive from those surveys. We really do value what our students have to say about how we can do better. And so please do that. I promise you it will be valued, it will be used, it will be heard. All right, third thing, I wanted to talk about the final extra credit opportunity. One thing we know from the New Testament is that grace abounds, right? And so initially this extra credit opportunity was going to be another 5-point opportunity. I have decided to make it worth 20 points, and I don't think it's too hard for that. If you think about it, 20 points, that could raise one of your paper grades 20% or one of your hypothesis assignments 20%. So that's a pretty substantial lift if you didn't do particularly well in one and you want to kind of bump that up. This extra credit opportunity, it doesn't require any academic work. It's really about course feedback. Let me tell you what I have in mind. I know that there is the course evaluation survey, and that's good as far as it goes, but I didn't have the opportunity to add some questions to it, so I really want to get some specific feedback for you about your experience in this course, this term. And so here's my rule though. In just a minute, I'll tell you what those are, but here are the guidelines about this, okay? The extra credit assignment is worth 20 points. There are going to be 4 prompts. You have to do all of them. It's an all or nothing deal. You do it and you get 20 points, or you don't do it and you don't get any points. You can't do it partially. You got to answer all 4. Each of them is worth 5 points. The other rule is it cannot be about me. For the sake of propriety, I don't want any feedback on me as an instructor or any of that. It must be about the course and the course content and the course design specifically. There should be no way that anyone could ever lay the charge that if your grade is bad, that it was because you made a bad comment about me, or vice versa, right? If you did really well, it's because you flattered me in your extra credit assignment. That is not what this is about. It must be about the course. Okay, so here are the 4 prompts. Number 1, for weeks 2 through 8, I want you to choose one of the weeks from the discussion prompts and tell me why you chose not to respond to the prompts that you did not answer. I hope that makes sense. In other words, most weeks, all weeks, especially at the beginning, weeks 2 and 3, there were lots of prompts for you to choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in many cases. 5 prompts or 4 prompts or 3 prompts. Especially towards the beginning of the class, there were more students and I wanted us to have the ample opportunity to choose a topic that may interest you. But I wonder if that was a good strategy or not. I'm curious. Obviously, you only have to do 2, and so you had to choose. So I am curious to know why you did not choose the prompts that you left aside, right? So you don't have to do all the weeks, just from weeks 2 through 8, go through the discussion forums, choose a week, and then the prompt that you didn't answer or prompts that you didn't answer, tell me why. I'm not looking for an essay. I'm not looking for extended reasons or even how to make it better. I'm just curious to know. I looked at these prompts and I went with this one and this one. I left this one because whatever it is, right? Maybe it's because they seem too daunting or too long for a 150 to 200 word discussion post. And maybe that's fair. I just want to know because I want to make it better going forward. So that's the first thing. Tell me why you didn't choose the prompts you did not choose in one of our discussion forums. Okay? Second, here's the second prompt. Tell me what you think about the hypothesis assignments and any suggestions that you have to make them better. Those hypotheses, those are the annotation ones where you would go through the biblical text, you would highlight it, and you would make comments, ask questions, etc. Tell me what you thought about those. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Did you like them, but they were whatever, right? Tell me what you thought about them, and just give me one suggestion maybe that would make those better if we continue with those in the future. Third, tell me which paper you did not like and why, or a paper that you would rather not have to write again, or that was just difficult for you. And instead, give me a paper topic you would like to see. And it doesn't have to be about the one that you replace. It could be, any suggestion for a paper topic. And then fourthly and finally, tell me at least one general thing related to the class that would make it better overall. Now, let me say this. It would be wise for you not to copy and paste verbatim from your IDEA course survey, your course evaluation survey. It would be better if you didn't do that because, I'll be able to connect the dots even after the fact. But just tell me at least one thing in general that would make it better. Let me put it this way. If the class was being redesigned and you had the opportunity to influence the content of the class, what would you do with it? And you can think outside the box. It doesn't mean that we'll be able to implement all the suggestions that you make. There may be precluding reasons for that in terms of regulations, accreditation, etc. But I would be keenly interested to hear how you would go about it now that you've gone through the class, how you would go about designing the class if you had the opportunity just to set up a course of study for the New Testament, Intro to the New Testament. So, would you split it in two? Would you, many of you are students at our Surprise campus. Would you say I want it to be offered on campus? Would you use a different textbook? Would you focus less on the specific content of the biblical books and just keep it very high level in general? Would you focus more on specific content from the biblical books and use those only as the base? Would you do all hypothesis annotations? Would you do no hypothesis annotations, all papers every week? What would you like to see if you were going to design the content of the course? So that's your extra credit assignment worth 20 points. Respond to those 4 prompts. Number 1, discussion prompts. Tell me why you didn't choose the ones you didn't choose for a given week. Number 2, tell me what you think about hypothesis assignments. Number 3, tell me what you think about a paper that you didn't like. Give me an idea for a suggestion, a replacement. And number 4, tell me just at least one general thing, or several things if you want to, about how you would redesign this course. All right, 20 points, all or nothing, due, of course, by the end of the week. Saturday, April 29th. Extra credit opportunities. They are going to be described in the text of this announcement. You can also find those in the gradebook. So like if you're in Blackboard and you go to My Grades on the left-hand menu bar, you scroll all the way down, all those are listed there and they give you a description of what they are. They're preceded by EC for extra credit. And so if you are looking for a place where you can find the description of those things, you can find them in the My Grades as well at the end of the list. Of course, if you choose to do the scripture memory, you'll need to schedule a Zoom appointment with me and you have to be on camera. I'll be on camera too. You got to be on camera so that we can just be present together and you can recite for me the verses that you have memorized. That link will be in the text of the announcements. You can also get to it through OU Connect very easily and schedule an appointment with me. So thank you so much for all of your time. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for your hard work. I have thoroughly enjoyed, truly thoroughly enjoyed interacting with you. You all have challenged me, caused me to think. You have, in some cases, taught me things or made me think about something in a particular arena that I had never really considered before, or if I was posed the same question, I would not have thought to answer it the way that you did. So kudos to you. You've done good work, and I appreciate that a lot. So the Lord's blessings to you this week as you finish and in all of your future endeavors. I hope that perhaps we will get to cross paths again, but if not, the Lord bless you and keep you. Thanks.